Guys, Debuchy. It's been a long day, just got back, but again, I have to bring you guys a video. Mathieu Debuchy signed in 2014. Yeah, this ironically today in 2014 he signed for us. Sadly, well, it's not really sadly because he surplus to requirements and he talked a lot of crud. Yes, last season into radio stations and stuff. He's allegedly en route in France, en route to complete a medical within the next 48 hours to sign for Nice. The side that Balotelli was at. I think they got Champions League now, if I'm not mistaken. So credit to him. Technically, I mean he's going to play He's going to play Champions League football while we're in Europa. So credit to him. We know Debuchy's been unlucky with injury since he's joined here. I think it was against Stoke where he had the injury, and then to coincide with that, he had Bellerin's emergence, and yeah, it was just hasn't happened. When he was here, reliable, steady Eddie. He even had his little bout at centre half where he was in a decent little purple patch of form. Remember when he scored that equaliser or whatever against Liverpool? Yeah, he was a decent little guy, and he could have been a decent, steady Eddie when you're called upon, you do your job sort of person. I did think pre-season last year he looked very sharp. Ultimately, he's frustrated because of the lack of football, the injuries, and all of these things have resulted in him not having the future at Arsenal he perhaps would have liked. I mean, yeah, if worse came to worse, he was supposed to be our first choice right back. Bellerin came through. Worst comes to worst, he could have been a reliable backup or someone that pushed Bellerin, because Bellerin does suffer from a lack of competition, and that's why he's very cocky. But it hasn't gone to plan, and yeah, man. I mean, you can't fault the guy for wanting to leave. Can't fault us for moving him on. No clue about the fee. No clue if it's a loan or a permanent. I think it's a permanent, but it's a start. I mean, you're hearing rumours of Chambers to Palace, allegedly around 20 million sort of figure. There's that. I don't want that to happen, but there's that. 8 to 10 for Chesney, all different conflicting reports. 8 million euros. So if it is, yeah, man, you know what I'm getting at with that. We've got Gibbs, who probably hasn't got a future here. Perez that needs to be moved on. At least it's a start. We're behind other clubs who move players on and manage to somehow make some decent money on them, but a start nonetheless. I think he's out of contract next year. Didn't really play. Yeah, he's clearly not been part of first team plans for a while now, even back to last year. Like I was alluding to earlier, talking to radio stations about how he's not happy. French players are pretty outspoken, and he is within his rights to do that, but he made his bed, lie in it, we go again. We do need a second choice right-sided defender, but we could probably get away with it in a sense that when we play 3-5-2, it gives some life to the likes of Maitland-Niles, Nelson, who showed in pre-season. Obviously it's pre-season. Theo, who's talked about possibly playing there. Ox, who's done it well. Bellerin obviously needed there, and a couple other guys can fit out there in the wing-back spot, so he can get away with it. And maybe Maitland-Niles for now might just have to get games there. I believe he can play in the middle for us, but just for the games, and if I was him, just so I can play ultimately first-team football for one of the biggest clubs in the world, Premier League football, start a Premier League game like he said he wants to. That was his goal last year, and it very likely he does it this year. Jump at right back, and that could be the competition Bellerin needs, because no one can tell me we all respond better to competition or when we feel threatened. There's two ways to react as a human when you're pushed into a corner. You have curling the ball, or you fight back, and in football that is very true. We've seen Bellerin have good performances, but just imagine how better he'd be if he knew one bad mistake or whatever, you're going to be out the side. Of course, to a degree, he sees that with, like I've just said, the 3-5-2. Ox becomes a right back. He can play in centre mid, and I'm a big fan of Ox in the middle, but he seems to have made right wing back in his own. He's fighting with Oxlade there, and you did see a reaction, because when he came into the side, especially the London derby at Wembley when he played Bellerin, he put a shift in, and he saw his spot was threatened. So you see what competition can do for you. Some players respond. Some players like Giroud respond. Some players, I don't want to name them because they're actually my favourite players, but they get scared when midfielders come here and then get farmed out on loan. But yeah, guys, Debuchy, I'm signing out. Quick one, just had to bring that to you. I'm out.